Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Cape Rugby TV. Nice to have you along. We take a look, of course, on a weekly basis what's happening in the world of club rugby. Right, folks, big thanks, of course, to our partners on board with us, Score Energy Drinks. As you know, Score is on board with Western Province Rugby and the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. If you want to win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks, then make sure you keep your mobile phones handy, because that word that you see behind me, Score, is what you're going to need to SMS in to put yourself in the mix to win that triple hamper. Folks, nice full show for you then this evening. Of course, also supported by MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy and Thorburn Security Solutions. Folks, we will be taking a look at women's rugby again this evening. As you know, we continue to focus on women's rugby and the growth of women's rugby, and all the clubs at the moment, of course, supporting the development of women's rugby by having a club rugby representative. So we'll go down to the High Performance in Belleville, where we'll catch up with some of the players as they, of course, prepare for the Currie Cup later in the year, or at least not the Currie Cup, the Interprovincials, shall I say. We'll go to NTK, where we catch up with head coach Frikkie Kutzer, and then we go to Kylemore, where we catch up with head coach Charles van Wyk, as well as some of the players from Kylemore. And then we go back down to Belleville, where we speak to Jerome Parvater, as of course the under-20s are busy preparing, but he also tells us a little bit more about what the coaches are up to. And then we go down to Belleville Rugby Field, where we manage to catch up with some of the players behind the scenes. As we know, a lot of the teams are at the moment preparing, or shall I say, they are going through the phases, return to training phases. So a lot of input coming to you then this evening. Stay tuned, it's going to be great fun. But right now, let's take a look again at what's happening with the DHL Western Province Rugby Women's Squad in Belleville.
I was so excited when I heard that we're coming back. Because of this thing of corona, we're sitting at home, eating a lot, eating everything, and eating and sleeping. So it was a big challenge. But when they told us that we must come back, then it was very exciting, and I was very happy. It's not easy, but if you know what you want, then you have to work hard and push yourself to get what you want. Yes, it was difficult because you're working on your own, and when you feel like you're tired, you just stop. It was very difficult, but we have to do it. So we're just trying to work hard. When I grew up, I normally used to play with the guys. So, you know, when you're playing with the guys, it's not just soft, and they're not soft, they are playing hard with you. So you have to play with them back, and then you have to be strong as well. So I decided, let me go and play rugby. Yes, I was scared when I was starting to play rugby, because the other lady convinced me to come and play rugby. Then I told them, no, I'm scared. I can't play rugby. They said, okay, you can come and watch the game. Maybe you will like it. And then I just go and join them. And then when I saw when they're playing in the field, I told myself, oh, let me join. When I'm in the field, I saw it, oh, it's very nice. And then I started to like rugby, and then that's where I started. Yes, there's a lot of young girls here. And then when we're in the field, we're supposed to help each other, because we know that we are not in the same positions. When they're asking, sometimes when they're asking, they can't hear. When coach said something, maybe they don't know. You have to help and explain what is it and all that stuff. Yes, it's difficult to get with the young girls. You know, most of the girls are always having those things. But then we're getting there, and then it's nice to have those young ones. And then we're trying to be like in the same team. Yes, it's very exciting. After these years, we're sitting of Corona, so it's very exciting when we know that we're going to play now again. So I think we have to work hard so that we can defend our cup, so that we can't let them take it. We have to work hard so that we can keep it here at home. I'm Poliswa Mpopo. I'm playing for Martis. All the girls who likes to play rugby, you're welcome. Feel free to come and join us. You're more than welcome. Any club near, then you can go and join them. It's nice. You'll see and enjoy it.
Voor die tijd wat ons nog even oefenen, die we in zo, die rugby, alles was toe, het was lockdown. En ons het man geoefend, voor die 6 weken wat ons nou weer beginnen oefenen, kom alles kon nou weer op. En oké, als hard, maar het zou een steek wees. Van mij is het like die is mijn leven. Voor mij is het nou die seniors als bij je fase waar ze moeten gaan. Als is makkelijk voor de eerste keer. Nee. Als bij je zo je oefeningen is hard. Alles wat ze doen is op je via, wat ze doen is hard. Zo zijn we maar net je alles uithalen. En als succes aan jezelf te maken. Ik heb altijd die stormen gekeken. Toen ik voor mezelf zeg maar. Ik wil ook één dag daar wees. Ik wil ook één dag rugby spelen. Ik wil ook één dag aan mijn ouders van mij op de tv kan kijken. Dus vandaag speel ik rugby voor Western Province. En ik was baie succesvol hebben. Want dat was mijn droom van alle jaren.
A person can see that physically it's been a break for a year, because coming back it's actually much harder than it's been coming back from a consistent year or just one off season. So a person can feel on your body that it's actually been a year break, even though you've been working at home. The work rate isn't the same and as effective as the work rate on the rugby field. It was difficult, but I think if you have a goal and you're willing to work towards your goal, that you'll do anything and you'll make a few sacrifices here and there to get to your goal. And if you remember your goal, it would be easier. It's enough motivation to keep going. My father's a rugby coach, so I actually started playing since I was 6 years old. Obviously I've always been with him on the rugby field, watching how he's coaching the guys, and actually the love for rugby grew from there. It's definitely tough because the seniors are here, and we can see that they're willing to work hard and keep their spot in the team, but also there is juniors that's gonna put their hands up during trials and putting in the effort to get the spot in the team. We as Western Province female rugby players is actually privileged to have such an amazing, structured coaching staff on us. Obviously Jongi and Lorian, they have enough experience, so we know for sure that what they are showing us is top class rugby. Hi, I'm Kamila Josephs, Western Province female rugby player. If you are female and interested in playing rugby, join a club nearby.
For me, it's a really good feeling seeing that I haven't played for about over a year now, so putting the boots back on, it's a good feeling. It's quite challenging at the same time because the body is kind of getting used to everything, but other than that, I'm happy with how everything's going so far. Mentally, it does have its challenges, seeing that, I've been out of the game for over a year now, so it's kind of preparing the body, for the contact and getting back into the swing of things, but been putting in the hard work to get to where I am now, and I can't be more happy with how's it going. There was a lot of excitement, but also nerves at the same time, seeing that, I have been out the game for quite a while, but, I put the hard work in, and, being here, it's a really good feeling, and, I'm excited to see where things go. For me, coming from 7s to 15s, there is a difference. Like 7s, like the intensity is there, and then coming to 15s, it's a whole different ball game. So it's learning, all new sets of skills and, all of those things, but I'm up for the challenge. That, is, I think all the girls are really happy that, there's actually, going to be a tournament coming up, and, it gives the girls something to look forward to as well, instead of just, countless training sessions. It's good having them around, just having the overall, experience, and having them teach us all of those skills that we can put to the test, and, just learning everything that they have to offer for us. My name's Kim Caracellis. I play for Marty's Rugby, and if you're a newbie or you want to get involved with rugby, come down to Western Province or join your nearest club, and we look forward to having you here.
Great to see our women's team in action, and so much gees from our players there, and always great to speak to our players, and fantastic to see how they continue to support their clubs. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we carry on talking about what's happening in the world of club rugby. Don't forget, keep your mobile phones handy, because you're going to need to SMS the word SCORE to 33090. Back in a sec, don't go away. Hello everybody, welcome back. We carry on talking club rugby. Great news for the clubs at the moment as they return to training. Of course, a lot of clubs have now gone through the different phases, the first 4 weeks of strength and conditioning. And as you know, we're now basically playing catch up. We're playing catch up with everybody out there to try and see how far they are, how far is the progress. Joining me on the line now is the head coach for NTK, Frikkie. Good sir, hello Frikkie, welcome back.
Hi, JP, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, Frikkie, we haven't spoken to you for a while now. Tell us what's happening at NTK.
Yeah, we are back to training. So we're basically in our last week of strength and conditioning training, and then we can get back to a bit more rugby specific things.
So let's just talk about that. So you went through first 4 weeks of strength and conditioning.
Yes, yeah. No, it's been. I think it's been quite tough. The players definitely not where we wanted them to be. I think a lot of them were still in the mindset that there weren't going to be any rugby. But yeah, we're very optimistic and looking forward to having some rugby this season.
So how were the players conditioning when they pitched up? I mean, we know we've been spending the last few weeks catching up with a lot of clubs, and most of the clubs have been saying that they're quite impressed with the players' conditioning. They've managed to stay fit in, let's say, the off season.
But there were definitely players that are looking quite conditioned and well maintained, as I can put it that way. And then there's a few guys that has put on a bit of weight during the off season or the year off. So yeah.
And the gees, I mean, it must have been great for the players just to be able to come to the field again.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think everybody was looking forward to start training again and just to get onto the pitch. So yeah, it's quite awesome.
Yeah. And Frikkie, I mean, 4 weeks of strength and conditioning is one thing, but now you kind of have migrated into a little bit more contact training at the field. For you, from a coaching perspective, how much difference is that?
Yeah, I think the main thing is just to make sure that the players are ready to take contact. I don't think we want to see guys getting injured unnecessarily. So yeah, I think it's important that this phase is conducted in a way that we make sure that the players are looked after as well during because they haven't had any contact for more than a year now. So
yeah. And are the doors open still for players that are out there to come and join the club? Have you managed to get most of the club players back at the club?
Yes, I think it's important that players that still are still looking for clubs or are still thinking about if they're going to play or not, more than welcome to come and join us. A lot of our old players are back. There's a few new faces, which is great. And I think hopefully after Easter, we can get a bit more rugby specific things on the pitch, and I think that will also make sure that will increase the player volume at the fields. A lot of guys have come for 1 or 2 training sessions and they stay away for 1 or 2, and then they come back again. So yeah, no, it'll be awesome to see all the players back in full strength.
And are the players, have they adapted to the protocols? You know, before COVID, I suppose the protocol was make sure that your car is parked in the right place so that you're not parking somebody in, or make sure that you put your tog bags in the right place so things are looked after. Now it's a different story. Make sure you arrive early enough so that you can do the screening in advance.
Yeah, I think that has been something to for the players to get used to, for us as coaches as well. So, but I must say the players have worked well with us. A lot of them are there very early to go through all the processes that needs to be done. And yeah, so we're quite satisfied in that perspective of things. So it's been a weird transition, but yeah, everything is in place, and we're making sure that everybody is safe.
From a safety point of view, Frikkie, I mean, do you guys talk about things about making sure that when the players leave that they follow still at home those health and safety protocols?
Yeah, I think it's quite imprinted in everybody. I think by now that everybody needs to stay safe, just for the sake of their families and their fellow players as well. So
Yeah.
So we don't have instances where we have to close the club or their families are exposed.
Yeah, yeah. And Frikkie, Western Province, I mean, you guys spend a year basically doing online activity, high performance online workshops, Western Province Rugby coaching courses. There's been quite a lot of interaction. I know a week ago, Rito Hlungwani, forwards coach for the Stormers, did an online session. Have you guys been able to participate in all those things? Yes,
that's been absolutely fantastic. I think last year we did that coaching level 2.5 with Jerome and Nazim, and it was absolutely awesome to engage with other coaches as well. We normally just see one another when we play one another, so it was great to engage and pick one another's brains and see what our other coaches are thinking, and yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Do you think that you're going to, I mean, we know that you need games to be able to transfer that and see how it plays out, but do you think that you'll be able to build some of those skills into the players during the COVID style of training?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's important that we make sure that we use the tools that were given to us, and I think within this time frame that we've had now, it helped a lot with planning, especially, and making sure that our sessions are of such a nature that everything is taken into consideration.
Okay. Frikkie, we'll leave it at that. We'll obviously say to you and the rest of the guys out there, stay safe. As always, we look forward to seeing the pictures and the videos, and well, we're just happy to hear that you guys are training, that the boots are on, and players are smiling.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely awesome. Thanks a lot, and hope all goes well.
Thanks, Frikkie. Frikkie Kutzer, of course, head coach NTK, and great to see the players are back in training, and that's good stuff. In fact, they're now into the second phase as well. Right, folks, as you can see, of course, MChem 24-hour pharmacy there behind me on the screen on the corner of N1 and Durban Road. You can't miss it. So if you're driving down the N1 out of Cape Town, that's the building that you need to look for. Just drive down and look for that big sign. It's open 24 hours a day, and you can see that big sign if you're looking for MChem 24-hour pharmacy. In fact, you can see it from the N1. Now, MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy has an extensive range of good quality orthopedic and surgical products at very competitive rates. And this is, of course, in the orthopedic and surgical zone. So if you're looking for products such as braces or strapping or any other orthopedic or surgical products, then MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy is the place to go. And if they don't have it, well, they will find it for you. And there's always someone available to help you. But remember, not all brands are the same. They might look the same, but they're not the same. And of course, at MChem, the objective is to carry an extensive range of high quality, well manufactured products. And so you know that when you're shopping at MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy, you'll be getting the very best products at the very best prices. And in addition to the sports injury specific products, MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy also has a qualified nursing sister on duty from 8 a.m. in the morning until 10 p.m. in the evening. So all you need to do is get down to MChem. They're of course open 24 hours a day, and you can get the expert advice that you need. And in fact, they also have someone that can help you with dressing your wounds. And that of course ties in to the surgical zone at MChem. So that's really fantastic. It ties into their wound care clinic at MChem. So if you've just come out of surgery and you have a dressing and you need some help with that dressing, then MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy is the place to go. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll carry on taking a look at what's happening in the world of club rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV. We carry on talking about what's happening in club rugby. Now, you'll know, as you know, a lot of clubs are returning to training, and it's at the moment great for us to see how many other clubs are actually making sure that the health and safety protocols are being followed. Last week, we went down to Carlamore Rugby Football Club and caught up with some of the players behind the scenes.
Ja, is langlaas bietjie gras onder mense voete gevoel en dit is nogal ietsie anders. Want 'n mens mis nogal die sport vir alles jy net by die huis sit en op jou eie oefen en so. Ek sien eerstens ons manne is op 'n groep en ons stuur so daagliks vir mekaar uitdagings van dag na dag om te sê miskien hierdie week doen vir ons so 100 push-ups en 100 sit-ups en dan daar's daar slaagsyfer op die einde van die week. So die manne was nogals redelik besig geweest. Ja, ek dink dis die belangrike part dat daar video's uitgestuur word net om nie dat ons die manne nie glo nie, maar net dat daar weer eens 'n bewys is laat die manne regtig op hulle eie oefen, want die manne sê hulle doen iets maar op die einde van die dag doen hulle niks. So die video gee eintlik vir jou volproof van die manne wat regtig ernstig is van die oefening en so. Ja, dit is maar altyd taaf in die eerste dag van oefening en so en jy verwag nooit wat jy gaan kry op die skinkbord. So jy was 'n bietjie nervous, jy was geroes, maar op die einde van die dag jy moet net kop op by mekaar sit en dan sal jy die water deur die drif trek. Jy het net daai motivation nodig van jou spanmaat wat jy nou nie by jou huis kan gekry het nie. En wanneer op die veld is, dan het jy dit nodig van hom en dis hoekom ons as 'n span daar is, laat ons mekaar motivate op die einde van die dag en so kan jy dit vorentoe vat.
Het voelt wonderlik. Ik ga zeggen, ons allemaal was uitgehonger. En toen die rugby weer begon, ik had zien toen de Aussie kwam, ik was goed opgewondenheid. Die mannen was committed, wel aan fucks, maar hulle was motivated om weer hard te oefenen en weer aan die go te komen. Ik denk dat een goede uitdaging was om waarom te oefenen. Met die COVID-regulaties was het nou beperkt. Ons is bevoorrecht om een gemeenschap is waar bergen is, kan gaan draf, waar ons nou COVID-regulaties kan toepassen. Maar ik denk op die oude einde gaat het maar over zelfdiscipline. Ze hebben nou zelf motivated. Ze moeten nou zelf in staat stellen. Ik wil fitness, ik hou wel meer gezond houden. En die virus het tasje om het heeft niet aangeraakt, maar op een einde, zoals ik zei, het zelfdiscipline gekost. Om mezelf te motiveren, ik wil fitness en ik wil die beste weergave van mezelf. het maak 'n baie groot verskil. Ek dink hy klein bietjie motiverende man langs jou wat in die oor fluister, moenie opgee nie. Ek dink dit speel 'n groot rol op die veld ook. Soms sal hom bietjie af, sy's moeg, maar sy wil jou spanmaat in die steek laat nie. En ek dink dis waar hy spanmaat langs jou inkom. Ons motiveer mekaar op die oefenveld, maar ook as ons gaan speel. En dis belangrik. Ouens is baie opgewonde vir die afgelope 4 weke het coach ons baie gedril en ek meen die ouens was baie toegewyd. Ons is wel in twee groepe verdeel, so wat beteken maandag, dinsdag en woensdag moet jy op eie oefen en ek kan sien dat ons is toegewyd. Hulle pas self dissipline toe, hulle oefen op hulle eie en dan volgende week, die 5de week, begin die semi-kontak en ek voel die ouens is gereed. Ons is op 'n level en ek glo dit sal goed gaan.
Ik denk ja, na een jaar van niet rugby niet, denk ik is lekker krijgt om weer op veld te wezen. Ik denk om die mannen weer te zien, alles het social distancing en niks van drukjes in elkaar, high five en goed team, maar die gezondheid is goed. Ik denk die mannen is positief na een lang break. Het is goed om die mannen weer te zien en weer dingen weer te vatten. Ja, ik denk als een klein dorpje te wezen is het een beetje makkelijker, maar ik denk nog steeds is discipline om te vatten, om motivated te blijven, om elkaar net om elkaar te zien, maar om zeker te maken, doen we zo goedjes wat die coach stuurt en zeker te maken, ons blijven op een level. Oké, ja, ik heb bij CPUT gestudeerd en ik heb daar Varsity Shield gespeeld. Die Shield gewonnen in 2019 en mijn studies het laatste jaar klaargemaakt. En ik heb begonnen werk dit jaar en ik is terug bij mijn thuisdorp in Kalmer en ik is excited voor het jaar wat voor ligt. Om terug te ploegen, ja, de mens weet waar je groot geworden en wie veel raak gezien het als klein zien en waar die talent is. So ik denk om terug bij je huis om thuisdorp te spelen is waar die talent eindelijk is. En als je van buiten af komt, kan je altijd die jongerlingen iets leren en hulle kyk altijd op naar jou. Ja, ik denk als klein zien wil je altijd voor jou thuisdorp zijn eerste span spelen. Ik denk aan mezelf toen ik klein was, dat ik altijd opgekeken naar grote mannen in mijn gemeenschap. So, ik denk elke jong zien zijn droom is om voor hulle thuisdorp zijn eerste span te spelen. En ik denk jong mannen streven nog steeds vandaag om voor hulle thuisdorp zijn eerste span te spelen.
Ja, ek dink laas jaar ons is baie spyt oor hoe die jaar uitgedraai het want ons ouens was regtig wel in 'n baie hulle kondisie was baie goed geweest. En die ouens het ingekoop by die spelpatroon wat ek by Kalmer probeer implementeer het. So ons het baie goed gevaar teen 'n span soos wat liga bo ons is. Jy weet die ouens het regtig wel hulle die tempo van hulle spel gelig en dit was ongelooflik geweest om te sien hoe die manne perform op die veld op daai aand. So dit was ongelooflik geweest. Die ouens ek was baie trots op die manne en ons het baie goeie opkomste gehad vroeg die seisoen met al die spelers. Ja nee, kyk dit is 'n ongelooflike gevoel. Ek dink ek het ons bestuur baie gas gegee want ek wou net maar het is so gebrand om weer die manne op by die veld te kry want ek het geweet die groot agterstand wat ons gaan hê, jy weet om die manne net weer in daai ritme in te kry, maar toe ons die eerste keer by die veld kom, die opkoms was goed geweest om die spelers weer te sien, om te sien hoe dedicated hulle is en hoe hard hulle oefen. Dit is lekker om die manne weer hier te hê en dat hulle, jy weet, dat hulle nog steeds glo in dieselfde waardes wat ons laas jaar geïmplementeer het by die klub. Ek moet sê dit het rugby op 'n hele nuwe vlak gebring. Soos dit al die ander klubs en ook geaffekteer het. So dit was 'n groot uitdaging geweest om met die spelers te kommunikeer. Dit was moeilik geweest want die mense het regtig wel geweet daar was 'n call geweest laas jaar ek dink Junie, Julie wat miskien gelyk het of wat ons positief probeer wees het laat die rugby sou terugkeer. En so dit was baie moeilik geweest om die manne aanhoudend te motiveer en ons weet nie as 2020 enige rugby gaan oplewer nie. Jy weet ons het maar vertrou die programme wat DGG se spelers hulle doen, maar ek weet van die ouens het 'n bietjie slap gelê. Maar ons almal is nou weer op die veld en die ouens, jy weet dit wat hulle laas jaar hulle tekortkoming was, is hulle besig om op te vang mee. Ek dink en daarmee moet ek ons huidige bestuur komplimenteer. Jy weet wat met 'n ongelooflike plan vorendag gekom het hoe ons dit gaan benader en jy weet om dit 'n veilige omgewing te maak vir ons spelers. So ons het tans twee groepe, groep 1, groep 2. Die een groep oefen net Dinsdae en dan die ander groep oefen net Donderdae en dan is daar oefenprogram vir die ouens gegee die aande wat hulle nou nie op die veld kan oefen saam met die ander groepie wat hulle in die week moet volg en jy weet gelukkig Kalmo is 'n dorpie hier's baie wat natuur skoon is. So hier's baie natuur om dit so die ouens kan in die berg gaan draf. Hier's parkies so hulle kan so hier's genoeg beweegruimte vir hulle om daai oefenprogram te volg. So ja, so ek's baie positief oor hoe dinge tans gaan. Absoluut. Ek dink ons is nou nog nie waar ons was laas jaar nie, maar ons is sterk op pad. En een ding wat ek kan sê van 'n gemeenskap soos Kalmo, is 'n baie klein dorpie, maar die talent wat hier is ongelooflik. So jy weet ons al 4 spanne wat ons in die veld instoot is talentvol en hulle kompeteer goed teen al hulle teenstanders. Ek's baie positief vir die rugby wat vir Kalmo vir die volgende 2-3 jaar voorlê.
Great to see our players in such good spirit. Of course, now that they can put the boots on again. I know Coach Charles van Wyk certainly smiling that he can see the players again, even though they've still got to maintain that social distancing. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we carry on taking a look at what's happening in the world of club rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. Nice to have you along. We, of course, carry on talking about what's happening in the world of club rugby. As you know, the Western Province Rugby Under-20 Currie Cup side is being, or shall we say the squad has been training. And, of course, they're preparing for the Under-20 Currie Cup later on in the year. Of course, also currently happening at the High Performance Centre at the same time, the DHL Western Province Rugby Women's squad is busy at training there as well. And we've got the head of high performance for coaching or clubs at Western Province Rugby, Jerome Paarwater on the line with us. Jerome, hoe gaan die dinge met jou meneer?
JP, het gaan eintlik baie goed. Ons is baie besig met rugby nou wat lekker is. So ja, dinge gaan eintlik goed.
So Jerome, I mean, you guys have got your hands full at the moment. The HPC is definitely busy. Like I just said, you've got the Stormers that are busy training. You've got the under-20s that are busy training. You've got the women's side that's busy training. Busy stuff for you guys at the High Performance Centre.
Yeah, JP, it's very good. Everybody's busy, as you say, and almost like a full day at the HPC. I mean, my day starts at 8:30, and then we leave there at 8 o'clock in the evening. So, but it's good. It's actually better to do that again because we missed that. So it's good to be busy.
Now, Jerome, of course, I mean, you guys have got a sort of a solid management team there with everybody's got a different skill but you all have multiple experience. You know, we've got guys like Chippy Solomon, who's of course the manager at the Stormers. You've got Nazim with you, who's of course head of education. You've got Wilfred Cupido, and you've got a whole string of experts at the HPC. Do you guys sort of overlap and cross over and help each other out?
Yeah, JP, I must say, I mean, because we all known each other for years, so we all help whether it's with, as you say now, whether it's with schools, whether it's with clubs, whether it's with women. We all help, and we all, if anybody asks, we busy and we help, because there's a lot of work that has to be done. Also last night with the ladies, Labib was there, and without him even questioning, I just say, can you help us here? And he said, yes, fine, he joined in. So that's how we work.
So tell us a little bit about that. When you talk about the women's, are you talking obviously about women's coaches? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, look, obviously last night was a session with the players, and also Labib had a session webinar with the women's coaches, the coaches who's going to coach in the league. It's a bit of like what I do with the men coaches. Yeah. Labib had a webinar last night with them, and while he was at the HPC, before he did that webinar, I said, can you just come in and do a few sessions with the girls? And he joined in and we did that session. And then afterwards he did that webinar with the women.
So you're from a coaching, from a high performance perspective now, your input into the, for example, the DHL Western Province Rugby Women's Squad, what sort of input would you be giving them?
JP, my part of what I'm doing is to help the coaches, Lorian and Jongi, and just guide them in terms of what we do with the guys, and we try to keep sort of the same programs. So from the high performance side, that's my role with them, and last night was actually the first time that I was actually on the field doing coaches, because what I always also say, because sometimes you tend to, there are coaches, but you tend to get so involved and you sort of end up running the session. And I want to empower these coaches and let them do the stuff. And last night was the first time in 4 weeks that I actually physically did a session, because I let the players get used to the coaches. And last night they asked me to join in and do a session, and that's why Labib and myself joined in and helped them with the session.
So, Jerome, the under-20s, of course, have been training for a few weeks now. The under-20 Currie Cup later on in the year, it's still got a bit of time to go. But how's your feeling on the players that you do have at the moment? How are you feeling about their fitness and strength and conditioning and so on?
Yeah, JP, we actually blessed to have these guys, because we know these guys from school now. There's these guys just coming from school. And last year, there wasn't schools rugby. So these boys are very happy to be back in training and to train. And we're also fortunate, just after Easter, the SA under 20 they're going to go on a camp with the SA under 20s. So I have a lot of boys there. So I'm actually glad that we started earlier with this boys, so that they can go to the camp and be fit and be ready.
Away from the high performance center now, the feedback we're getting so far from the players is that, at least from the players and the clubs and the coaches, is that the players are smiling again. They're all happy to have their boots on. They're able to see each other again. We know that the health and safety protocols are in place, but it does seem that there's a good spirit, that the spirit of Western Province Rugby still flies high. Everybody's got the passion for club rugby and is just loving being back on the field.
Yeah, JP, it's for me. That's why I make it a point to watch Cape Rugby on Wednesday evenings, because that's how I can see the guys training and what they do, and how, especially the administrators or the coaches or whoever, the club captains, whatever, how passionate they are and how happy they are, so that the guys are busy. So yeah, just also that's how I get to see the players, because physically I'm not going out there, because we still follow the protocol. So I'm just happy to see on Cape TV every Wednesday that the guys are busy, and a lot of the guys that I sort of identify earlier on are training. So I'm happy to see that.
Jerome, then just a last question. For women's rugby, very positive at the moment, with Western Province Rugby driving the Grow Women's Rugby initiative, where every club must have a women's rugby representative. That's obviously very exciting for Western Province Rugby, that we see all the clubs committing to growing women's rugby.
Yeah, JP, it is. And also just watching last night the webinar that the Labib have, the amount of coaches that were on there, and also the amount of coaches coming to the training sessions at the HPC, and they want to learn and they want to be part of this women's rugby drive and the whole initiative that we've sort of got in place. So it's good to see what they do, and also with the girls coming and consistently there's 45 to 50 girls in the training session from the start. So that's a big positive for women's rugby.
Jerome, we'll leave it at that. We'll say thanks. Nice catching up with you. We look forward to seeing more pictures from and videos from the. Well, in fact, we'll be out at the High Performance Centre catching up with some of the under-20s when they are maybe back from the Varsity Cup training sessions, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Yeah, JP, good to catch up with you again, and to all the clubs out there. It's almost time that they're gonna play, so they must now really start to prepare and put the work in, and you know, it's actually hopefully by next year, you know, all this Easter tournaments that's there, we miss that. And that's where most of the guys get their sort of game time in before they start. But I mean, they must be positive. They are, hopefully after Easter we'll know the direction, but we're all positive and think that the club's rugby is going to go on after Easter.
Well, we'll hope for the best, and of course we hope that people will behave themselves over the Easter weekend. Jerome, we'll catch up soon. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Jerome. Always great catching up with Jerome and finding out what's happening behind the scenes with the players. Lots of activity at the High Performance Centre at the moment. Right, folks, as you know, Score Energy Drinks is, of course, on board with Western Province Rugby and the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. Right, so as you know, we are running this triple hamper competition where you can win a case of Score Energy Drinks, you can win a case of Bashu's Cool Drinks, and a set of Cape Rugby TV masks, courtesy of CTC Sports. It's very easy to enter this competition. All you need to do is grab your mobile phone and then SMS this word, the word SCORE, to 33090, and that puts you in the mix. All right, 33090. You can see it on the screen with us here on a regular basis. So if you want to enter this competition, you want to win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks, then just SMS the word SCORE and put you in the mix to possibly win a case of Score Energy Drinks. All right, so 33090. Congratulations then to last week's winner, Frederick Sefela. We know Frederick is a regular club rugby participant, and it's great to see our club rugby fans and administrators entering the Score competition. There you see it behind me now. So congratulations, Frederick. Someone from Cape Rugby TV is going to be in touch with you shortly, and you can collect your prize. Folks, we'll take a break. When we come back from the break, we carry on taking a look at what's happening in the world of club rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back. It's, of course, Cape Rugby TV every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. here on Cape Town TV, DSTV channel 263. Right, folks, Belleville Rugby Football Club. We missed Belleville last week. We were hoping to get on there, but unfortunately the weather wasn't playing ball. But this week, a little bit better. So we got down to Belleville Rugby Football Club and managed to catch up on some of the players behind the scenes.
Obviously, I think it's exactly a year to the day, or a year to the month. I think it was March last year when we last played. I think a friendly, obviously guys, back then the guys were looking forward to the league, and we had like one friendly left before the league should have started. But yeah, getting back, I think obviously the guys, they practice on their own, but it's not the same. Doing physical training, doing your push-ups, your sit-ups at home, the guys don't have. They don't have the facilities at home like maybe some professional guys have, like your gym equipment. So the guys using bags of sand and stuff like that. Obviously, at first the guys were into it. The guys sent videos in the groups and stuff like that. But after that, the longer the lockdown went on, the more the guys stopped practicing, and you could see the guys that initial excitement of practicing at home and sending the videos, that faded at the end. But coming back to when we got the nod to we can start practicing, I think it was 5-6 weeks ago. I think the guys obviously were tough at first, but the guys, you know, the excitement to get back together, that you could feel that camaraderie coming back. The guys enjoyed practicing. Obviously it was difficult, but the guys fed each other well. Yeah, I think obviously excited. The guys, once we get to play with the ball, you know that rugby it's close. We're gonna play games soon. So the guys, the excitement is building. The guys are looking forward to game time. That's the next thing on the guys' mind. Game time. Obviously, guys, they can't wait. Second week, we still have 2 weeks left. skills, and we take it from there. Yeah, obviously we're disappointed. I think we lost some of the momentum we gained in 2019 and 2018. 2020 we started building that momentum at the end of the friendlies, and we were looking forward to the season. But the same, we lost that momentum. We can say that for the other clubs. We're all in the same situation right now. So right now we need to focus on getting all the training done, getting the guys on the field, getting all the preparation done, and that first game, I think that first game is going to be vital.
Well, there was definitely challenges that go apart with it. I just find that if you just at least put in that 30 minutes a day, just try to do something at least, because we were all at home and we all suffered. So as best it was good. The first practice was definitely a shocker to everyone probably, because the first practice probably finished us all. So after the first practice, you just had to prepare yourself every week for what is coming. You knew that once you step on the field, then it's gonna be hell. You're gonna pay, but luckily it's just for a few hours. So then it's over. Once you get to start the race, you finish the race, and then it's over. Yeah, we're definitely getting there. We're getting to feel one another on the field, off the field. We're getting to know one another. Also, like I said, I am new to the club, so I'm still busy learning all the calls and trying to get familiar with all the boys.
De dag van oefening was moeilijk, want een paar mannen het gekotst. So die mannen was een beetje unfit, but om weer terug te wees en om te halen en soos ek gesê het, om te hoor dat ons kan oefen. Die was mannen die eerste dag. Die mannen was probably 40 mannen geweest. Ik denk het is tough om op je eie te oefen. Because zij is gewoon gewoond aan die boys of 1 of 2 ouens wat samen oefen. But ik denk als zij mentally aan die dingen zijn in is en zij wil fit blij 30 minutes of 45 minutes elke dag. Dat gehelp. Als die boys terugkomen, is daar nooit een kamer te verzetten. Ja, is altijd iets om over te praten. Zo om je maatje te zien na een lange tijd en om samen te oefenen na een tijd, het is nice, ja. Om je contact te vatten na een lange tijd. Het laat die body lekker voelen, man. So, zij staan weer morgen op een klein sierkie hier en een klein sierkie daar van die stampjes van die vorige aan te oefenen. En hij zet het lekker maken, man. So, die rugby is weer terug en ons hoop een van die daar spelers weer.
Ja, het is baie lekker om terug te wees. Het is 'n bietjie taaf. Maar het is lekker om terug te wees. Het was baie taaf om jezelf te force om te oefenen, fit te blijven. Daar was weke wat ik kom bij die veld, dan zie ik mezelf, ik is meer les voor oefenen. Dan ga ik weer huis toe. Maar we staan weer hier vandaag, we wachten net voor de rugby weer te beginnen. Ik was een beetje laat, so, die man het gezegd was baie taaf, maar toen ik terugkwam, toen skelde hulle me uit en ik heb gelopen de meeste van die tijd. So, het was baie taaf, ja, zoals ik zei weer eens, het was taaf om jezelf fit te houden. Van, het is gewoon alleen oefenen. Ja, het voelt als amper bij de speeltijd. En het is lekker om weer bij de boys te gaan vissen en als spannen samen te oefenen en grapjes te maken. Goed. Het is net lekker om weer hier te vissen. Ja, het is lekker om nieuwe gezichten te zien. Vooral zoals mannen wat van die school afkomen. En goed. Als man net, het wijst net voor ons dat er is nog iets bij de club wat die mannen trekken naar toe en dat daar nog voor en toe nog gaan leven is bij de club. So, ons maken maar het beste van het en ons proberen maar met mannen hier te houden.
Ja, soos ek kan self sien op die veld, die manne geniet hulle kon nie gewag het vir die oomblik hier so op die veld nie. Dus jy sien, hulle kan nie genoeg kry van hierdie oefening nie. En ons is nou in ons fase 2, in ons tweede week. En dit gaan goed aan met ons fiksheid. Ons hou nie op met fiksheid nie. Ons gaan aan met ons fiksheid. Maar met ons 'n kontakoefening fase 2. So ons gaan maar aan met hierdie stories. Ja, dit was baie moeilik, maar ons het dit maklik gemaak. Ons is op 'n groep met wat WhatsApp het. En ek stuur vir hulle elke week goedjies deur wat hulle moet doen by die huis en so aan. Gelukkig het ons 'n gym hier op die veld wat die manne self net so 5 man op 'n maandag en op 'n woensdag en op 'n Vrydag wat die manne self kom ingaan en vir hulle 'n bietjie sterk maak en so aan. Ja, dit is moeilik vir my as 'n coach om in hierdie standighede te werk. Ons sit met een lig op hierdie veld. Maar die manne is gretig om te oefen in die donkerte. Ons kan net vir 'n uur oefen, dan moet ons maar ophou. Wat kan jy in 'n uur doen? Sien, dis maar moeilik vir die ouens. So ons probeer maar om Saterdag in te bring en ons goedjies te doen op 'n Saterdag wat ons wil doen. Ja, die manne pas hulle goed aan met die COVID-19 reëls en so aan. Ons toets hulle voor hulle inkom. Hulle word gesanitiseer, balle word gesanitiseer. So ons is in die lyn met die protokol van die COVID. Ja, ons is positief. Ons wag nou net vir fase 3 vir return to play. Ek sien dis waarvoor die manne wag. So ons is slag gereed vir fase 3. So ons wag maar ons hoop ons kan 'n bietjie rugby speel in einde April, Mei maand toe.
Great to see our players again. Great to see our players in action. Of course, even though it is still according to very strict protocols. Right, folks, that's a wrap from us here then this evening. We, of course, trust that you will join us again next week on the same time. But just a reminder then for all of the clubs out there, please make sure that you have a women's rugby representative. We are going to continue our focus on women's rugby here on the TV channel here on Cape Rugby TV, and we're going to be focusing on you, the clubs out there, and your representatives, women's rugby representatives at your clubs. And of course, remember, it's not all about the 80 minutes on a Saturday. It's about making sure you have somebody at your club that is available to represent your club and help grow women's rugby at your club. So make sure that you've got your representatives' details to Western Province Rugby. Folks, that's a wrap for us in this evening, and there, once again, you see the word SCORE behind me on the screen. SMS that number and you can put yourself in the mix to win a triple hamper. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.